Hi, my name is Devin. This is Modest 1.0, and I am going to go over scenes. So in this case, we have this is the title scene, and every scene has these two functions: initialize and scene end. Any helper functions are up to the user, but these are derived from the scene class, which is what I'll go into a little bit when we get into the engine. So we have back to title. This is just any code you want to put in here, such as object creation to setting a terrain. Each scene can only have one terrain. That being said, you can choose to not have a terrain, and this I randomly set the terrain. So then at the scene end, we clean up any objects that we had so that there are no memory leaks. So this is what the title scene looks like. Turn down that music, and basically what we have here is the title that we've created, and this title actually also logs the camera position, changes the camera position, and it has this little enter to begin too. Now this is the test scene, and I'm gonna turn that off for now. We'll get into the title object, what that looks like. This is a demo for sound. I won't get into it, but so we're playing the title song right here. Again, sound. I don't want to dwell too much on that. That's for a later video. Then we also have, changing the camera position, screen logging, and then, having this right here, press enter to begin. This is the text, sprite strings, as well as vox tanks. That is the title of the demo game I have created for this. So, and then we're rendering all of them in a draw 2D. There's also a draw 3D, but it's just called draw. So draw 2D is called to render any sprites and sprite strings, any text that you would have, and UI elements. That is called in Draw 2D. And then it has alarmables to set the game state, so that it doesn't. And that's on enter release, it actually registers that alarm over here, and then plays that select sound, and then goes into the game. So now let's look at the test scene. The test scene is a little more complex. So we can choose to visualize collision if we wanted this, and we set our terrain like usual. This also allows for objects to be collidable with the terrain. So the player, enemy, and the bullets, they collide with the terrain. Bullets are destroyed when they collide with the terrain. Enemy and player, you can actually get the barycentric coordinates to match their position to the terrain. So that is void of any physics at all. Then we have our level manager init, the game code itself. We can create a God cam if we want to. And then we set the collision pairs as well. And then we have to do similar stuff for each scene. And remember to clean up as well to avoid memory leaks. Such as setting health pickups too, if we want those in the scene, it's that kind of thing. Anyway, so that was what we were seeing. Now let's check this out again. So right here we have all of our enemies, and this stuff, we can visualize the collision, turn it off, toggle that, boom. Meanwhile, if we go into scene 2, I've chosen not to visualize the collision, so it wouldn't allow us to do it. All right, that now that we've gone into that, let's see the inner workings of this, shall we? So we have our scene manager and our scene over here. So the scene basically controls registration of exable objects, such as updatable, drawable, inputable, alarmable, collidable. And then we have our terrain as well. So that controls the terrain actually being drawn and whatnot. The managers for each of these types of objects, drawing everything, etc. So the drawing actually controls, how we draw what we draw and when. Same with visualization. So this is the basic kind of structure of the scene. And I think that concludes basically how scenes are done.